Not to mention free refreshment.
We're nearing the end of round 1 here.
Whoa, look at us. Are we in the updated Illustrator style?
Oh my gosh, yes. And we can make expressions too.
Were you just going to gloss over that or something, Serena?
Huh? Oh, no, I just didn't notice. Devin and I are used to the Illustrator style because of our cameos in the Vexus Videos theme song.
You mean the Vexus videos that got taken down because Vexus Dylan II wants to remake it because it didn't turn out as perfect as he wanted it to be? Drops an unnecessary drama bomb, and since Vexus is his livelihood and it's only the first episode, he can afford to remake it without taking too many steps backwards? That Vexus Videos?
Touché, Tom.
You guys look good. You aren't recycled from machines and Joshua's character models.
Yeah, just recycled from the human character model is all.
Does that mean all the monsters are in the new Illustrator style too?
Heh, in your dreams. And actually not even those.
Yeah, Tom, if Jurighetto's, Red Dragon Archfiends, Trishula's, Ultimate Axon Kickers, Beelz's, Grapha's, Clearwing Synchro Dragons, and Evolzar's Solda's character models weren't updated in that series, what makes you think they'd be updated here?
Well, the human models in the old style got a little bit of an update, which means Vexus Dylan II has to redo almost all of the human monster models again. But if he's sticking to the style, he might as well make it as polished as he can, right?
And he can also make it without putting an hour-long droning on session about a deck that Arcana Force got in over during Season 1. I'll give him credit, because Vex View's decks actually required thought to come up with, unlike the eye-catching title of this one. I know we're a side series and all, but come on, even if you just called that episode Spirit Review, that would still be above and beyond animated duels. That title doesn't even give the viewer any idea it's even about YuGiOh, so how are they supposed to know it's even a card game tag duel when the title doesn't have any of that information? They aren't going to know, so even if they have an interest in animated duels, they aren't going to actually click on animated duels because the name—
Serena, shut up and just tell us the turn order. This level of self-deprecation is getting cringy.
That implies that self-deprecation isn't already cringy in and of itself, Ed.
Ordinarily I'd kill you for talking to me like that, Ed, but I agree with you. Ed and Devin versus me and Tom. Ed's first, Tom's second, Devin's third, and I'm fourth.
You made yourself go last?
I don't pick the positions, I just say them. If I did pick the positions, Devin and I would be a team every time. Except when I get replaced with Jesse for one episode, because I wouldn't want that bitch working with Devin.
Rude. Wait, where's Devin?
Over here, I'm just off screen.
Why are you over there? And what's with these squares we're on?
Oh, we forgot to tell you the arena got bigger. Now everyone has their own space for their cards. Now things won't look so cluttered and hard to keep track of, and monsters won't have to randomly turn invisible either. That square's for animation and camera positioning purposes, so Vexus Dylan II knows where the cutoff point of everyone's field is. Also, it's nice being the red team and the blue team.
That explains that, but what happened to our duel discs?
Did you idiots seriously not notice that they were gone until now?
Yes, I just assumed they would appear when the actual duel starts.
Vexus Dylan II got rid of them when he updated our character models. It lets us be more expressive with our arm movements now.
Yeah, we can't have those opposable fingers going to waste now, can we?
Also, there were always 3 cards in the hand no matter what, so it looked really weird.
Yeah, and they were overlaid in front of our hands instead of behind them, so it looked like they were sticking out of the sides of our fingers.
I like this change. We just ended up doing dramatic hand gestures to do stuff anyway. Also, the turn player no longer looks like they are about ready to make an armpit fart with their duel disc.
Nicely put, Tom.
That answers everything. Now hopefully this duel goes well, cause it already had to be rewritten twice. Anyway, first oh, cool, the life points show up now.
Until you declare an attack or summon, it'll show your life points, yeah. Now people will see which side is winning other than when someone takes damage or heals.
I summon Chronomally Nebradisk. Oh, cool. The stats stay up longer now, too. Do we seriously have to keep pointing out every little quality of life change made in this episode whenever it happens? Yes, Tom, we do. We're going full-on JoJo with this forced exposition. Accept it already.
Also, your monster looks like macaroni art.
Well, when my macaroni art is normal summoned, I get to search for another Chronomally card. If all cards I control are Chronomally monsters, I can special summon him from the graveyard in defense mode, but I can only use Chronomally cards and effects that turn. I can only use one of his effects once per turn. I search for a Chronomally Crystal Skull off of his effect. Then I use the effect of that Crystal Skull. Since I control a Chronomally monster, I can discard it to add a Chronomally monster from my deck or graveyard to my hand. I add Chronomally Golden Jet. I set a card and end my turn. I summon Harpie Channeler. Once per turn, I can discard a Harpie card to special summon another Harpie monster from my deck in defense mode. If I control a dragon monster, her level becomes 7.
Why?
Wanna be dragon rulers if you run Harpie's pet dragon? Which I don't, because the rank 4s Harpies have access to are more than enough, as I'll soon show you. Then I activate Hysteric Sign, which lets me add Elegant Egotist from my deck or graveyard to my hand. During the end phase of the turn it is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, I get to add up to 3 different Harpie cards from my deck to my hand. I can only use one of its effects per turn. Then I activate that Elegant Egotist. Since I control Harpie Lady, I can special summon Harpie Lady from my hand or deck.
But you don't control Harpie Lady.
All Harpie monsters are treated as Harpie Lady while on the field or in the graveyard. So here comes Harpie Lady in defense mode. She gives all wind monsters 300 attack. Look, now it shows how much the stats increase or decrease by. Anyway, I use the effect of Harpie Queen to discard herself and search for Harpie's hunting ground. Now I overlay Lady and Channeler to Ixie summon Lightning Chidori.
What about Wind Rasengan?
When Lightning Chidori is Ixie summoned, I can send a set card of my opponent's field to the bottom of their deck. So get rid of Eds. And once per turn, I can detach an Ixie's material from it to send a face-up card of my opponent's field to the top of the deck. I detach Channeler to send back Nebradisk.
Thanks, now I get to search again.
I summon Trident Warrior. When he is normal summoned, I get to special summon a level 3 monster from my hand. I special summon Vylon Cube. When Cube is used for the synchro summon of a light monster, I get to search for an equipped spell card. I tune them together to synchro summon Vylon Delta in defense mode. While he is in face-up defense mode, I get to search for an equipped spell card during each of my end phases. And speaking of searching, I use Cube's effect to search for Vylon's segment. Then during my end phase, I search for Mage Power.
I use Archfiend General's effect to discard himself to search for Pandemonium, which I activate. Archfiend monsters don't have to pay their life point maintenance costs during the standby phase, which is irrelevant since they all suck. The good effect is whenever an Archfiend is destroyed by a card effect, I get to search for an Archfiend with a lower level. Next I activate Foolish Burial, which lets me send a monster from my deck to my graveyard. I send Archfiend Harris, and when Harris is sent to the graveyard by a card effect or by being destroyed in battle, I get to search for another Archfiend card. I grab Archfiend Commander. Then I summon Archfiend Emperor, the First Lord of Horror. If 3,000 attacks straight from the hand sounds too good to be true, that's because it is. I can normal summon him without tributing, but he's destroyed during the end phase and his stats are halved.
Was that stat decrease display really necessary? I mean, the stats being halved were pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, but we can't make exceptions.
I can only special summon fiend monsters while I control him.
So when does his effect get good?
Right about now. Once per turn, I can banish an Archfiend card from my hand or graveyard to destroy a card on the field. And by hand or graveyard, it really just means the graveyard. I banish Archfiend General to destroy Vylon Delta. Don't worry, Devin, the destruction is mutual. I end my turn. And with Pandemonium, I search for Archfiend Cavalry.
I summon Chronomally Nebradisk. I search for Chronomally Crystal Bones. Nebradisk attacks Arena directly. Lightning Chidori, do your thing.
Stop helping him.
I'm about to make up for that. I activate Harpies Hunting Ground.
Your dirt patch ruined my demonic altar.
Well, at least it doesn't have the Ojamas being unfairly attacked by those bitch Harpies. Those Harpies may be bitches, but the Ojamas are on their hunting ground uninvited. The Ojamas have done nothing wrong. Well, if the Ojamas are innocent, then they have nothing to fear. As for the effect of the hunting ground, it gives all winged beast monsters 200 stats. Whenever I summon Harpy Lady, I have to destroy a spell or trap on the field. I summon Harpy Lady herself. With the effect of Hunting Ground, I destroy Hysteric Side. Harpy Lady, attack Ed directly. And now we're even. I switch Lightning Chidori to defense mode. I set a card and end my turn. And with Hysteric Side, I search for Harpy Queen, Harpy Channeler, and Harpy Harpist.
I activate Twin Twisters. By discarding a card, I destroy 2 spell or trap cards on the field. I destroy Harpy's Hunting Ground and Tom's Face Down.
Thank you, Devin.
I summon Summoner Monk. He can't be tributed, and he switched to defense mode when he's summoned. Once per turn, I can discard a spell card to special summon a level 4 monster from my deck, but it can't attack that turn. I discard Mage Power to special summon Vylon Prism. I tune him and Summoner Monk together to synchro summon Vylon Epsilon. Cards equipped to him can't be targeted by card effects, and once per turn, I can send a card equipped to him to the graveyard to destroy a monster on the field. Now when Vylon Prism is sent to the graveyard, I can pay 500 life points to equip him to a monster on my field. I equip him to Epsilon.
Doi, who else would you equip him to?
When the monster Prism is equipped to battles, it gains 1000 attack during damage calculations only. Then I equip Epsilon with Vylon Segment. A Vylon monster equipped with it can't be targeted by my opponent's monster or trap effects.
But spell effects are fair game?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe something to do with Vylon's association with equip spells? I'm as lost as you. Anyway, Epsilon, attack Harpy Lady.
I summon Archfiend Cavalry. When he's destroyed by a card effect, I get to special summon another Archfiend monster from my graveyard, but it can't attack that turn. Now since I control an Archfiend card, I can special summon Archfiend Commander from my hand. When it's special summoned this way, it can't attack that turn and I have to destroy an Archfiend card. I destroy Archfiend Cavalry. With the effective Cavalry, I special summon Archfiend Emperor, the First Lord of Horror. And with the effective Pandemonium, I grab Harris. Isn't it amazing how much my monsters benefit from killing each other?
Since I control no monsters, but my opponent does, I get a special summon Chronomally Crystal Bones from my hand. When it's summoned this way, I get to special summon another Chronomally monster from my hand or graveyard. I special summon Chronomally Crystal Skull from my graveyard.
Look at that, you got the whole skeleton.
Yeah, but it's not assembled yet. I overlay Skull and Bones to Ixie summon Gorgonic Guardian.
It looks like an obese version of Naga. And what the hell are those things sticking out of its face?
Once per turn, during any player's turn, I can detach a material from her to target one of my opponent's monsters. Until the end phase, that monster's attack becomes 0 and its effects are negated. Once per turn, I can destroy a monster on the field with 0 attack. I detach Crystal Skull to target Archfiend Emperor. Then I destroy him.
I'll get the last laugh eventually. I add Archfiend Commander with Pandemonium's effect.
And I still haven't normal summoned yet. I summon Chronomally Gordian Knot. When he is normal summoned, I get to special summon a Chronomally monster from my hand, then his level becomes equal to that monster's level. I special summon Chronomally Golden Jet. Once per turn, I can increase the level of all Chronomally monsters by 1, which I'll activate. Now I overlay them to summon Tyrus, Keeper of Genesis. As long as he has Ixie's material, he can't be destroyed by card effects, and at the end of the battle phase where he battled, I get to destroy one of my opponent's cards. During each of my end phases, I have to detach an Ixie's material from him. Tyrus, attack Archfiend Commander. Gorgonic Guardian, attack Serena directly. And with the effect of Tyrus, I destroy Lightning Chidori. I set a card and end my turn. Then I detach Golden Jet with Tyrus' effect.
I use Harpy Queen's effect to discard herself, add Harpy's Hunting Ground, and then activate it.
You ruined my demonic altar with your dirt patch again.
Well, I'm about to ruin them both. I activate Twin Twisters and destroy both of your field spells.
YuGiOh! I summon Harpy Channeler. I discard Harpy Dancer to special summon Harpy Harpist from my deck in defense mode. When she is normal summoned, I get to target one other winged beast monster I control and one of my opponent's monsters, and then bounce them both back to the hand. During the end phase of the turn she is sent to the graveyard, I get to search for a level 4 winged beast monster with 1500 or less attack. I overlay Channeler and Harpist to Ixie summon Ice Beast Zero Fine. Once per turn, I can detach an Ixie's material from her to negate the effects of all my opponent's current face-up cards. Then she gains 300 attack for every other face-up card currently on the field. These effects last until my next standby phase.
Funny you should mention negating effects, stat changes, and time limits, because I use Gorgonic Guardian's effect on Zero Fine.
Oh, you dirty, dirty whore! Well, I can still pointlessly activate her effect by detaching Harpist. I end my turn, and with Harpist's effect, I add Harpy Channeler.
Epsilon, attack Zero Fine!
I told you I would get the last laugh eventually, and I'm not wrong. I summon Archfiend Harris. Then I special summon Archfiend Commander. With his effect, I destroy Archfiend Harris. With her effect, I grab Archfiend General. I use his effect to search for Pandemonium and then activate it. Now I activate Monster Reborn, which lets me special summon a monster from any graveyard.
So Monster Reborn being unbanned now was something that happened? And it got its original artwork in the TCG?
Yeah, try and keep up, Ed. None of your guys' monsters are good enough, so I special summon Archfiend Emperor. I use his effect to banish General from my graveyard and destroy Gorgonic Guardian. Emperor, attack Tyrus.
I summon Nebradisk. With his effect, I add Chronomally Crystal Skull. Then with Crystal Skull's effect, I add Chronomally Moi. Since I control a Chronomally monster, I can special summon Moi from my hand in defense mode. Now I banish a light monster from my graveyard, like Crystal Skull, to special summon Ghost Ship from my hand. It's a light fiend monster for some reason. Now I overlay Moi and Ghost Ship to Ixie summon another Tyrus. Tyrus, attack Archfiend Commander. Nebradisk, attack Tom directly. And with Tyrus' effect, I destroy Archfiend Emperor.
And with all that effort I went through to set up that board, well, I add Commander with Pandemonium's effect.
And during my end phase, I detach Moi. I summon Harpy Channeler. I use her effect to discard Harpies and special summon Harpy Dancer in defense mode. Once per turn, I can bounce a wind monster on my field to my hand to normal summon a wind monster from my hand. I return Channeler to summon Harpy Harpist. Now I use Harpist effect to return Dancer and Tyrus. Now I activate my own Monster Reborn to bring back Harpy Dancer from my graveyard. Now let's try this again. I overlay Dancer and Harpist to Ixie summon Ice Beast 05. I detach Dancer to use her effect.
Whoa, that's a lot.
That's gonna happen in a tag duel. 05, attack Epsilon.
When Vylons segment, or any Vylon equipped spell, is sent face up from the field to the graveyard, I get a search for a Vylon spell card. I add Vylon material.
During my end phase, with the effect of Harpist, I add Harpy Lady.
Since I control no monsters, I can special summon Photon Thrasher from my hand. Then I summon Vylon Stella. I tune them together to synchro summon Vylon Sigma. If he's the only monster I control, I can equip an equip spell card from my deck to him when he attacks. When Stella is sent from the monster card zone to the graveyard, I can pay 500 life points to equip it to one of my monsters, like Sigma. Monsters that Sigma battles are destroyed after damage calculations. Then I equip Sigma with Vylon material. A Vylon monster that's equipped with it gains 600 attack. Sigma, attack Zero Vine. And with Sigma's effect, I equip him with Mage Power, which gives him 500 stats for every spell and trap on my field.
Ooh, you just barely did it. Barely is all he needs, Tom.
Now for a turn completely different. I place Archfiend Eccentric in my Pendulum Zone.
You're what?
Oh, that's right. We haven't even gotten to pendulums yet.
Yeah, it's just more overly complex summoning methods we won't get into until Season 3. Don't worry, Devin. She won't be there long anyway. Eccentric can destroy herself in a spell and trap card. I destroy Mage Power. Since I control no level 5 or higher monsters, I can summon Masked Chameleon.
What the hell?
I told you this is a turn completely different. When he is normal summoned, I can special summon a monster from my graveyard with 0 defense and defense position. Its effects are negated, and I can only special summon monsters from my extra deck this turn. I special summon Archfiend Cavalry. I tune them together to synchro summon Thought Ruler Archfiend. We gain life points equal to the original attack of the monsters he destroys in battle. When exactly one psychic monster is targeted by the effect of a spell or trap, I can pay 1000 life points to negate and destroy it. Thought Ruler Archfiend, attack Neverdisk.
Why didn't you destroy Sigma?
Because Stella's effect would destroy Thought Ruler Archfiend. Ed's turn is next, so he might be able to use Neverdisk or something, and I want to see where Vylons go from here.
I set a card and end my turn.
Well, so much for something.
I summon Harpy Channeler. I discard Harpy Lady to special summon Harpy Dancer. Then I use Dancer's effect to return Channeler and summon another Dancer. Now I overlay my Dancers to Ixie summon Lightning Chi. Darn it, now Serena's got my interest peaked too.
I have that effect on people.
Fine, I'll summon Diamond Crab King instead, because if I can't kill Devin's monster, I'm at least going to deal a bunch of damage to Ed.
And how exactly do you plan on doing that with a monster that has no attack?
Because once per turn, I can detach an Ixie's material from him to make his attack 3000 and his defense 0 until the end phase. If he attacks, he changes to defense mode at the end of the battle phase. If he's attacked while he has no Ixie's materials, he switches to attack mode after damage calculations. I detach a Dancer to use his effect. Attack Ed directly. And just like that, we're even. I set a card and end my turn.
Sigma, attack Diamond Crab King.
Oh shitballs, I just remembered Stella's effect.
With Sigma's effect, I equip him with Rod of Silence Chaos from my deck.
What the fuck?
Don't worry, that wasn't a mistake. I know exactly what I'm doing.
You say that, yet you just equip your monster with something that destroyed all his other equipped cards and reflected damage right back at us.
All part of my plan. I'll explain after I use Vylon Materials effect to add Vylon Element to my hand. The card I equipped to Sigma, Rod of Silence Chaos, gives him 500 defense and negates and destroys all other spell cards that target him. This includes all Vylon cards equipped to him.
Yeah, so when does this plan actually pay off?
Right about now. I activate Vylon Element. Whenever a Vylon equipped card is destroyed, except during the damage step, I can special summon a Vylon tuner monster from my deck, but it can only be used for the synchro summon of a Vylon monster. I equip Sigma with Vylon Segment. With Element's effect, I special summon Vylon Sphere.
It's adorable!
With Segment's effect, I add Vylon Material.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
Then I equip Material to Sigma. With Element's effect, I special summon Vylon Tetra.
As opposed to Vylon Zelda?
With Material's effect, I add Segment. Now I tune Sigma, Spear, and Tetra together to synchro summon Vylon Omega! When he is synchro summoned, he destroys all face-up normal summon monsters. Once per turn, I can equip a Vylon monster from my graveyard to him. When a monster effect is activated, I can send a card equipped to him to the graveyard to negate and destroy it. And that's not a once per turn effect either. Just like Stella and Prism, I could equip Tetra and Spear to one of my monsters by paying 500 life points. First I equip Spear to Omega. If Spear is equipped to a monster, I can send him to the graveyard to take an equipped spell card from my graveyard and equip it to that monster. Then I equip Tetra to Omega. If Omega would be destroyed, I can destroy Tetra instead. I equip Omega with Vylons segment. I send Spear to the graveyard to equip Omega with Mage Power.
Wait, why did he gain 2500 attack if you only control 4 spell and trap cards?
Because of Ed's face down. Since it counts all cards on my side, that includes his.
But if that's the case, doesn't that mean he shouldn't have been able to summon Crystal Bones since you had Epsilon out?
The rules of tag duels are vague as fuck, Serena. You just have to accept it.
Fine, but I don't like it.
Lastly, I equip Omega with Vylon Prism.
If I can't kill Omega outright, I'm going to deal a fuck ton of damage just like Tom did. I summon Archfiend Cavalry. Now attack Ed Devin.
I activate Ghosts of a Grudge. Since my opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, the attack of all monsters currently on their field becomes 0.
Well played, Ed. I switch Thought Ruler Archfiend to defense mode. Then I special summon Archfiend Commander in defense mode. I use his effect to destroy Cavalry. Then I use Cavalry's effect to special summon Archfiend Emperor.
I send Vylon Prism to the graveyard to negate Cavalry's effect.
Huh, pretty. And I hit Eccentric with Pandemonium. Then I set a card and end my turn.
I special summon Chronomally Crystal Bones. I special summon Crystal Skull from my graveyard. I overlay them to Ixie summon another Gorgona Guardian. And I don't even have to remove a material to use her effect. Destroy Diamond Crab King. Attack Archfiend Commander. I summon Harpy Channeler. I use her effect to discard Harpy's pet baby dragon and sub.
I send Mage Power to the graveyard to negate her effect.
I was baiting you. I activate Icarus Attack. By tributing a winged beast monster, I can destroy 2 cards on the field. I tribute Channeler to destroy Vylons segment and Gorgona Guardian.
With Segment's effect, I add Vylon Material. And with Element's effect, I special summon Vylon Prism.
Well, can't say I didn't try.
I use Omega's effect to equip Sphere to him. Then I use Spear's effect to send himself to the graveyard and equip Omega with Vylon Segment. Now I banish Trident Warrior from my graveyard to special summon Ghost Ship. I tune Prism and Ghost Ship together to synchro summon Vylon Alpha. When Alpha is synchro summoned, I get to take an equipped spell card from my graveyard and equip it to him. I equip him with Mage Power. While Alpha is equipped with a card, he can't be destroyed by spell or trap cards, except for equipped spell cards.
What's with this weird spell exclusion immunity your cards have, Devin?
And is there even any equipped spells that destroy things by card effects?
Well, does Vylon Stella count? Anyway, I pay 500 life points with Prism's effect and equip him with Alpha.
We are so dead.
Alpha, attack Tom directly. Omega, finish this.
That was incredible.
Definitely the best duel of the season.
And all the quality of life improvements really helped.
The best part about it wasn't just one big play everyone made, it was multiple. Even Vylons got in on it.
Yeah, Devin, never let it be said that Vylons are garbage. They are actually threatening once you get them going.
Too bad you can't say the same about ice barriers. Ain't that the truth?